is finally in the air. It's beautiful outside. It's warm. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. And I couldn't be more excited about this warm weather. So I wanted to hop on here and share with you guys my top 5 palettes for springtime. Nice variation of different types of palettes, and if you want to see my top 5 palettes for spring, just keep on watching. But first, make sure you guys subscribe by clicking that subscribe button. Also, while you're at it, be sure to turn on those notifications so that YouTube will notify you every time I upload. All you have to do is click the little bell and bam, you're good to go. Springtime is probably one of my most favorite seasons of the year. It's my birthday season. Things are growing and coming back to life, and I love it. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, hi, how are you? Thank you for clicking this video. I would hope that you would subscribe, and welcome to the family. My name is Rose. I'm a girl boss on a budget who loves to save money and project pan. Today's video is my top 5 favorite palettes for springtime. I've been seeing this video going around, and I got my inspiration to do this type of a video from the Beautiful Kelly Gooch. I will, of course, have her channel and her video linked down below in the description box if you guys are interested to go see what her top 5 palettes for spring were. For me, springtime is one of the most beautiful seasons of the year. It is when flowers are blossoming and plants and everything is coming back to life, and the weather gets warm, the sun is shining, and it's just so much life and color being brought back in after the winter where everything dies off and it's cold and cloudy. I absolutely love springtime. I like to start to kind of incorporate a little more pastels and color into my looks. I mean, I pretty much kind of wear bright, colorful looks any time of the year, but springtime is just more ideal. Maybe a good way for somebody who doesn't wear colorful looks all the time to kind of introduce a little bit of color into their looks and to play with color. So I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 palettes that I feel are perfect for springtime. Let's just go ahead and hop on in, and I will share with you in no particular order. I do want to start with the one that I feel is the most colorful for springtime. That is none other than the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. This is the most colorful of my top 5 palettes for spring. You can just basically do so many countless types of looks with this palette. The possibilities are absolutely limitless with this palette. There is even a couple of neutral tones in here, such as tasty and cone. You can really just do any type of look you want. The metallics and the shimmers are in here are absolutely to die for. As you can tell from some of the swatches, it is just a beautiful pastel palette with also being a bright rainbow palette without being a rainbow palette, so to speak. You can really just create so many looks with this. The possibilities are absolutely endless. I think this is the perfect, most colorful palette that I feel for springtime. I've created a lot of beautiful looks with this. If I do have any looks, I will insert some photos to show you just a couple of looks that I have created with this palette. I love the bright yellow shade called Wow, and then the lemon drop shade. You can really go simple and just do a 2 shadow look with Wow and then lemon drop on the lid. The same thing with Suck and then orange juice on your lid. You can do really simple looks like bubblegum in the crease and Jawbreaker and cotton candy on your lid. That shade Gumdrop is absolutely beautiful, light pastel purple shade as well as cute. And Fuck is like a real pastel orange. And then you have the shade Delicious down here, the dark deep blue, to kind of deepen up your outer V if you're going to do any type of looks with dimension. You have a matte white shade here called Virgin to really blend out your colors so they're not so harsh on your eyes. I appreciate any type of palette that puts a matte white cream shade in to kind of blend out any harsh edges of more colorful shadows. And since I forgot to share with you guys what my top 5 favorite shades are, I wanted to go ahead and interrupt to quickly show you guys what my top 5 favorite shades are in each palette. So in this palette, they are the shades Bubblegum, Snack, Cotton Candy, the shade Fuck, Gumdrop, and an extra one is the shade Lemon Drop, which is a really beautiful yellow. So yes, the looks with this palette, you can do so many different types of looks. So I definitely had to incorporate this in as one of my top 5 palettes for spring for sure. And then my next pick for my springtime top 5 palettes for spring is the beautiful Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. For good reason. As you can see, this palette is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Those who have been subscribed to me for a while know that I absolutely love her eyeshadow formula. Her eyeshadow palettes are probably my top 3 favorite, and that's saying a lot. Coming from somebody who has 140 eyeshadow palettes at this point, I ended up getting a couple more for my birthday, and I'm still doing a birthday haul. It's been highly requested, but this palette I feel is just idea for springtime. And I'm actually wearing this on my eyes today. I went ahead and I used the shade Desert Queen all in my crease, and then a little bit of the shade Cactus to deepen up my outer V. And then I went in with the beautiful, that green shade called Wanderlust on my lid. And as you can see, it is just a perfect springtime kind of look. I definitely felt this palette was very, very springtime appropriate. You have the beautiful sky blue shades. This shade right here called Evil Eye has beautiful flecks of glitter in it, and as well as Moonchild. It is just absolutely gorgeous, as you can see from the swatches. And then you have this light pastel pink. You can kind of do looks based off of quads in this palette. So for example, like this quad can be a look, 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 and this quad can be a look. And the thing I love about Dominique Cosmetics palettes is she makes them multi-purpose. Like, you can use the shade Suede as a bronzer. She always tries to incorporate some type of a pink shade that you can also use as a blush. And then the light cream shade Free Spirit is also used. You can use it to set your concealer and kind of give you highlights down the center of your face and draw forth light. And the pan sizes are big enough to where you can actually fit a brush in there. So I always love that she incorporates and makes her palettes multifunctional to where you can use them as base powders as well. Top 5 favorite shades in the palette are Wanderlust, Moonchild, Wildflower, Dreamcatcher, and Evil Eye. So this palette is absolutely gorgeous and another great pick for springtime. And that is, again, the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. And the next palette for my top 5 palettes for spring, I wanted to incorporate a little bit more of a neutral tone palette, so it doesn't have to always necessarily be about all colorful looks. But I went ahead and I decided for Hangin in Hawaii from BH Cosmetics to be my number 3 pick for springtime palettes. As you can see, this is a really gorgeous neutral tone palette. It has that really beautiful pink shade in there. The shade Hula right here is probably the most sickening, intensely foiled shadow. As you can see from the swatch of that shade, look at how absolutely stunning it is. I love BH Cosmetics formula. Their metallics and their shadows are actually really incredible, and they are an extremely affordable brand. They are definitely underrated and they don't get talked about. I would like to see them kind of revamp and try to come back out in the market. I definitely wanted to incorporate something a little more neutral but yet warm tone, because springtime is warmth. You can start incorporating more warm tone looks, and yet you can still create such a beautiful everyday, day-to-day type of look with this palette. I really love this Hanging in Hawaii from BH Cosmetics. It is my go-to neutral palette for sure. My favorite shades in the Hangin' in Hawaii palette, which is so soft and buttery and smooth as you've seen from the swatches, is definitely Hula, Paradise, Luau, Pineapple, and Hibiscus. My fourth pick for springtime palettes is I wanted to also think of and incorporate a little smaller palette, so it doesn't have to always be bigger ones. And that is the Violet Voss I Do Not Care palette. And it's just a cute little 10 pan palette. And it has 10 shadows in here, but as you can see, it is definitely a little bite-sized palette, which is ideal for travel. And it has some beautiful shimmer shades up top here and like eyeshadow toppers. And it is really gorgeous. And it has the 2 pops of color out here. It's just a really cute palette, and I feel it would be perfect for springtime. I've really been getting some enjoyment out of this. I definitely wanted to incorporate this and include this in as my top 5 picks for springtime palettes for sure. You can really create quite a few different looks with this palette. And it's little, it's easy to carry, and you can travel with this. Violet Voss's eyeshadow formula is one of my favorite. They make really incredible formula. If you haven't tried any Violet Voss, I definitely highly recommend their formula. It is really quite incredible. My favorite shades in the I Do Not Care palette is definitely the very first shade there, since there's no shade names. This real beautiful sparkling teal, this light velvet shade, and the darker pink tone shade. And this is my fourth pick for my favorite top 5 palettes for spring. And then last but certainly not least, my 5th pick for springtime palettes is none other than my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. And another one for just very good reason. Her textured eyeshadow palettes are absolutely incredible, and it has these beautiful pastels in there, and the pastel teal and those crushed metallic foiled shadows are extremely pigmented and extremely beautiful on the eye. You can really darken up and kind of vamp up a look for a night out on the town with these darker shades, or you can also do some very appropriate daytime looks with some of the lighter shades. You can do something fun with the pinks right here. You can do just one of these shimmer shades on the lid, real simple, one shadow look, and you're out the door. And those shadows have such a multi-dimensional type of sparkle to them. I love them. You can even do a more neutral look with this corner over here. Just some beautiful textured shadows and metallics and just yummy goodness on the eye. Huda Beauty is one of my favorite eyeshadow palette formulas just because of the different textures that she creates. I love her eyeshadows. My favorite shades in the Mercury Retrograde palette is really hard to decide because I freaking love this palette, you guys. Oh my god, it's so hard to decide. But if I had to choose, my top 5 would probably be Nebula, Cosmo, Galaxy, Supernova, Libra, and Haze. This palette is absolutely stunning. It is one of my favorite palettes. I could easily pick probably another one, the new nude palette, being that it was all spring and cool tone, but I had to just choose one. If I had to choose one, it was definitely the Mercury Retrograde, and it is such a just a gorgeous, fun, springtime-esque type of palette, and I highly recommend it. I know her eyeshadow palette is a little bit more on the pricey side. They're like 65 bucks. That's why I wanted to throw in some other affordable options as well, like BH Cosmetics, and even the Violet Voss little bite-sized palette is like 18 bucks, so it's pretty affordable. This is probably one of my go-to palettes, and it has been lately for springtime, and I just absolutely love this palette. wanted to put in, add one honorable mention real quick, and another palette that I feel that is deserving and can be definitely used for springtime looks is one of my newest ones to my collection I got for my birthday, and I have played around with it, and that is the Viseart Paris Edit little bite-sized palette. I've been obsessing over little mini palettes lately. They're just so easy to carry and so easy to travel with. And as you can see, this palette is just beautiful. It has the pastel, more cooler tone type of shades, and I've really been loving this little palette. It's little and it's affordable. I will insert the cost of the palette on the screen because I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I know this palette wasn't very expensive. It is just a little guy, but it's a great way to kind of get a feel for any Viseart shadows if you are new to their formula like I am. And I just had to give an honorable mention to this little guy because I think it is a cute palette and it would be perfect for springtime as well. Okay, you guys, so those were my top 5 picks for my version and my ideal favorite palettes for springtime, and every one of those palettes I get good use out of, and I've used them and know them very well. And again, springtime is just a very fun, bright, vibrant time of year where the plants are growing and flowers are blossoming, animals are coming back out. I mean, I know it's been tough this year because we're all in quarantine with the coronavirus. People are scared to go outside, but even if you can just get out to go for a walk, I highly encourage you to try to get outside at least a couple times a week if you are quarantining and not going out whatsoever, just because it's so good to get some fresh air and let that sun hit down on you and help with your mental health. Just a little bit of fresh air and a short walk, you would be surprised what it would do and what it does to your overall health and making you feel better and just not be so down, because this is very trying times right now. That's everything, you guys. I just wanted to hop on, and I definitely wanted to share with you guys my top 5 picks for springtime palettes. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you everybody again for being patient when waiting while I was able to take a little bit of a break. I really appreciate your guys' understanding. That is basically everything, you guys. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And until my next video, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye.